Well, welcome everybody. My name is Cassie Rosas Carson. I am the Internship and Professional Development Coordinator for the College of IST within the Career Solutions Office. We are located in E103 of the Westgate building. So we are talking about LinkedIn. And why is this so important? Because there is over 800 million users on LinkedIn. 14 million job and internship postings, and 57 million companies that you have access to. LinkedIn is not just another social media platform that is out there, but is it a critical part of the internship process, the professional world, because it gives you global access, being in many languages, over 200 countries and colonies across the board. So no matter where you're from or where you desire to work, you have a network to connect to. And not only that, but it's the largest platform to connect you to the hundreds of thousands of Penn State alumni that you can access, and over 700 state or Penn State related groups. So it could be Blue Band, it could be On, it could be the sub-interest groups, it could be a local chapter within your area. So there's a lot of ways to continue to be part of the Penn State community and take advantage of that alumni pool and that reputation that Penn State has. It also is probably the second most spent time that recruiters are on outside of college recruitment. So, outside of them being on campus for career fairs and tabling events, I'm sure you've seen at Westgate and the career fairs that we've had and university-wide, they're spending 95% of all the recruiters that are in the world for any type of company is spending time on LinkedIn regularly. They have a special accessor version of LinkedIn that they are able to identify potential candidates. And so you may or may not have gotten some people reaching out to you, those messages that you get because they're going through, they're searching by skills and degrees and backgrounds and experiences and identifying. So whether you're open to work or maybe you're a working professional, and sometimes opportunities just come your way. So there's a lot of amazing reasons for why you want to be on this platform, and knowing that it's not just another social media platform. It is a professional networking platform for professionals, for people that are seeking jobs. Wherever you're kind of at your career, LinkedIn always has something available for you. So we got to start with the profile. You want to have a great profile before you're doing anything else on LinkedIn, because once you start getting active and connecting, before people respond to you or even, accept your connection, they're going to be checking out your profile. So here's some great tips to kind of really strengthen your profile. The first thing is personalizing your photo and your background photo. This is important because it significantly increases your chances of, one, getting clicked on by recruiters, and two, having those connections be accepted. It is an increase of 70%. So that's pretty huge. People want to see who they're connecting with. So having a professional shot. We are always offering professional headshots before each career fair that we have. So we'll have another photo session in January. Phones are amazing these days that you can just, put on a collared shirt or a professional, shirt, go up against a very clear background or plain background, maybe even something just little like a plant, have someone take a photo for you and put that on. It does not have to be a professional headshot. The background photo, I get this question a lot, like, what should that be? And it could be a lot of different things. It can relate to your major, to your career interest. It can relate to, the university, or something that you feel is part of your brand as a professional. So something that reflects on you. I am a professional development coordinator. I'm a career coach. So I think it's really important for people to invest in themselves. So that's something that represents me and the work that I do. So that's what I have. You want to have a customized header. So you really want to go beyond the just student at Penn State or your major, but adding some, skill sets in there, maybe even adding that you're seeking a summer 2023 internship in cybersecurity, something more specific that can grab people's attention, but also giving them some information about yourself. Because when they're scrolling through a lot of different candidates, it's the first things they see before clicking onto your profile. If you are actively in the job or internship search, really utilize their great feature of open to work. It gives you a lot of options where you can select things that you're interested in, different industries, job types, locations, whether you want hybrid or remote. You can even add, the nice frame around your profile pic. So it's really grabbing people's attention like, hey, I'm looking for something, or I'm open for something now. So really utilizing that filter. It also helps to give you customized suggestions of postings that are coming on regularly with LinkedIn. So it's kind of searching for you, just like you go on Netflix and you get those recommendations based on your like, they have that same algorithm. The second thing I want to point out is a lot of people don't do this, is the right screen where you're allowed to edit and simplify your URL. This is really great because if you add your LinkedIn URL on your contact information of your resume, it can increase your chances of getting an interview. And if you have a strong profile, it increases your chances more. But if you don't have a completed profile, it can affect your chances. So people are looking for your kind of digital print that's out there, your professional print. So having that on there, giving them access to that is really going to help you in the long run. So the next section that's really important is the about section. And this is where you can kind of give your little introduction. It's very similar to the tell me about yourself question, or, like your elevator pitch, if you've ever been to the career fair or a networking event. So this is your kind of anybody that's coming to your page. What do you want them to know about you? Someone that you're connecting with, an alumni, potential recruiter, things like that, kind of telling your story, summarizing some of your experiences that you've done in the classroom, outside the classroom, class projects, getting them interested in wanting to scroll down further on your page. It's a chance for you to highlight skills that you want to use in opportunities that you're looking for, so that the right people are reaching out to you because you're putting out there what you're looking for and knowing the different type of opportunities. Even if you can't put a name to it, you at least know what skills you want to utilize. And then really letting them know if you do have some opportunities that you're looking into specifically, maybe it's software development or consulting work. Maybe there's certain industries you want to get into, healthcare, entertainment. Let them know that, and what type of opportunities, full-time opportunities after May of 2023, or summer internships for summer 2023, giving them that detailed information. Again, the right people are reaching out to you because they're getting that information from this about section. So giving that introduction, telling your story. I want to double check and see what if we had any questions in the chat. Feel free to add any questions at any point in time throughout the chat. Myself or my colleague Rita that just joined will be happy to answer that, and we will throw out some resources throughout the presentation as well that you can refer back to.
Just a really quick interjection there on the about section. Great place to include contact information. Make sure that you have contact information that's easy to find so that people can connect with you.
So next section is the education section. So a couple things that I want to highlight here is that you want to make sure that you're connecting the university, so Penn State University, and you're making sure when you're highlighting your master's degree, maybe you're doing an integrated program here on campus, or if it's your bachelor's degree, making sure that comes up. Sometimes I've gone on people's profiles where it just does the name of their major, but it doesn't actually say that you have a bachelor's degree. So really making sure that you have that BS or UC Bachelor's of Science. Either is fine, but as long as that is associated next to your major name. The other thing that I see a lot of students is grade. They put the year of school that they're in, freshman, sophomore, junior. This is actually where you want to put your GPA. You don't really have a place to do a major GPA. So if it's above a 3.0 for a cumulative GPA, that is what you want to include. And also too, in this section, it gives you a place where you can write out some of your activities. that you're involved in on campus, which is really great so that recruiters can see all the things that you're doing outside the classroom while being a full-time student and maintaining a good GPA can show some really good soft skills like time management, organization, things like that, without even having to put that out there. It's really easy just to see that. And also too, on the resume after your sophomore year, you want to take off your high school information. Well, guess what? On LinkedIn, you get to add it back in because that opens up a whole new network for you, which is why I have it on mine so I can connect back the people I went to high school with. And so, the more people that you can connect with and have a connection with, the better. And oftentimes they even have their own group that you can be a part of. So remember that you have your old high school friends are all professionals as well. So the more connections, the better, from all different walks of life and points in your life. So from there, there's a lot of additional sections that you can take advantage of on LinkedIn. Another great reason why to use LinkedIn, add it on your resume, is because, at the resume, you're limited to that one page and you really want to customize it to what you're applying for. Well, LinkedIn, you get to put everything that's relevant. You can give them a lot of additional information that might be really helpful. So you can add all your different skills, not just your technical or language skills, but add in all those great soft skills that you have as well. Communication, customer service, time management, problem solving, etc. You can add your class courses that maybe you really want to highlight different knowledge areas. You can put in your class projects, you can put in personal projects or projects you've done with student orgs and really develop that out. You can add certifications. Maybe you're doing some things on LinkedIn Learning, or you're working on other things like C++. You can add all that information there. You can add in your student organizations, honors, awards, volunteer experience. There's a lot to go through. So at the top of the profile, you'll see an add an additional section right below kind of your tagline profile picture. Take a look and see at all the different sections and see what things you want to add to really strengthen your profile for anybody that's looking at it. Something that I think is wonderful to really add some good value to your profile, because a lot of employers, they don't use letter of recommendation very much. References is going to be down the road, but this is something that you can request from people that you've worked with. It could be supervisors, advising, people from past part-time jobs, internships, that you can have real kind of testimonies of your work that people can look at. And so that when you're putting out all this information, all these skills that you have real people that can back up some of those claims that you have. And that really gives a lot more weight to your profile. It also is great for the recommendations because you can review them before you post them. So if you notice any changes that need to be made, or you don't necessarily maybe love what they wrote, you don't have to add it. So you do have a lot of control when you do this, but it's a great way to really add that evidence to all the different things that you're putting on your profile. So in order to request a recommendation, I always encourage you to kind of reach out to the person ahead of time so that they know the request is coming. Once that is done, then you want to actually go to their profile and you're going to click under more, and it's going to give you an option to request a recommendation. Once that happens, you'll have a little spot where you can identify how you know this person. So whether they worked under you, you worked for them, they were on your team. It gives you a couple options. Connect it with one of the experiences on your profile. And then you can write a little note to that person, and then they get notified that a request has been made. They can write it out. You'll get notified again it's been completed. You can review it and approve it, add it to your profile, or you can send it back with some edits and corrections. So it's a really simple, easy process through LinkedIn, but adds a lot of really great value. So now that you have a really strong profile, we need to start utilizing the platform in itself. So one of the great things about LinkedIn is that it can connect you to a whole bunch of great companies that are out there that you can gain information for upcoming interviews, but also to a lot of companies now that we've kind of went from a virtual world with COVID and everything, a lot of companies started doing their own career fairs, own professional development, recruiting events. all different kinds of things to talk about their opportunities that were available to all students, all professionals on LinkedIn, but also too that they can post different resources, great things their organization is doing. So if you are a person who maybe less has an idea of specific job titles in mind or internships, but maybe of some companies that like, I really want to target these companies. These are companies that are important to me. I want to work for them and see what opportunities they have. A great way to connect and utilize LinkedIn is following these companies so that they're starting to come up on your homepage. So if they're posting their co-ops, their internships, entry level, maybe career fair they're doing, great things that maybe initiatives within their organization, maybe there's some important things that you're looking maybe related to diversity or the environment or women's health or a whole bunch of things that are going on these days, you can really see that they're practicing what they preach on their website. It's also a great way to find out what other alumni might be working there. So under every company tab, you can go under people. And so anybody that has this company tied to their LinkedIn profile is going to come on. So you can add Penn State, just as I did on the screen, and see that there's 501 employees that are associated with Penn State that work at this organization. You could also add in maybe your major or specific job title and identify some alumni that maybe you want to reach out to and ask about their career and how they got into this company, what they like about their job, doing some networking or what we call informational interviews that can help you with your career path and maybe even can give you some insight into their hiring practice so that you can really stand out in the practice and hopefully get an offer with this company. So networking, I really want to talk about on LinkedIn. This is another question I really get a lot from students. Like, I kind of know how to use the platform, but how do I actually like reach out to someone and, get them to respond back to me? So I wanted to give you a little bit of an example of how you might want to reach out to someone. So whether you're reaching out to Penn State alum, maybe you're reaching out to a recruiter that you talk to at a networking event, maybe on campus, or you apply for a job and you want to kind of follow up. So within companies, they are either called recruiters, talent acquisition, or college relations. So those are three kind of titles that are most common that happen to be the people that you want to reach out to if you're wanting information about the application process. So this is not a message that is like a template that you have to use for everything, but just to give you an idea of what maybe a first message might look like. So it could be, hello, Rita. I'm Cassie. I'm currently studying SRA at Penn State. I am interested in interning with your company and wanted to connect with alumni to learn more about the organization. Would you mind connecting with me via email or phone to answer some questions? I appreciate your consideration. We are. So I'm kind of putting a quick little information about myself, the purpose of why I'm connecting with that person, and then giving them some flexibility of how we could connect versus just doing kind of a message back and forth, because you're really limited characters and things like that, and that can hinder the conversation. Plus, if you have a more personalized, phone conversation, or maybe at least even emailing, you can build up that relationship and hopefully gain a new connection that could help you in this process in the future, maybe potential mentor. So these are how those relationships start. And then connecting back to Penn State, the we are really gets them reflecting back and be like, oh yeah, I remember, I've been there. I'll absolutely help you. I know how much I struggled. You can get that connection, and hopefully that can help increase your chances of getting a response back from that person. And also too, if this is something that you struggle with and you're not sure how to approach, this is why we are here, the Career Solutions Office within IST. We can help you with things like this, whether it's reading the message or helping you to approach like who you should talk with first, how to target your networking, things like that, and how it can best help you where you're at in your search. That's why we're here. So some tips moving forward with LinkedIn is once you're getting on here and you're starting to get more active, you want to make sure that you're checking your account pretty regularly so you're not missing any important messages that might be time sensitive from people that you reached out to or people maybe who are noticing your profile. It's always good too to be active on some of the homepage stuff. So it's even just liking maybe some of the groups that you're a part of, posts that you've seen, maybe share something that's interesting, maybe things that are related to your field. That could be really great to kind of increase your activity and get your profile out there more. LinkedIn and Penn State has paid for you to have access to LinkedIn Learning. So this is awesome because otherwise you have to pay like $100, I think, for at least a year of LinkedIn Learning. That there's a ton of great professional trainings that you can take advantage from, things that are relevant to maybe the technology field, or things that are more in like the professional field, like interviewing, resumes, things like that. There's a tons of things that you can take advantage of. And all of those certificates you can easily add to your profile and kind of build that up. Always encourage students to add projects, especially within the College of IST. We're doing a lot of in-class projects based on real world events. This is great experience to add to your profile, especially if you don't have a ton outside of the classroom. That's all right. Use the things you're doing in the classroom. And if you're in a field that needs an e-portfolio showing some of your coding or creative web design, things like that, adding that e-portfolio to your about section within your profile. Outside of following companies, don't forget about the Penn State network. So make sure you're following the university, that you're joining the Alumni Association group, you're joining the Penn State College of IST group. There's a lot of ways that is a good starting point for you to build up your network. And so don't forget about Penn State, because there's, like we said, over 700 Penn State groups. So find those ones that map to you. Also see if your student organization has a group as well. That's another really great, I think a lot of students forget about that, and even some majors have some groups as well. So really make sure that you're utilizing that as well. And then think about the people that are already in your network: professionals, career coaches, advisors, people that you've done previous internships with, part-time jobs with, maybe upperclassmen, things like that. You have a bunch of people that are already in your network, but this is a great time for you to now connect with them on a different level and really start building that up. And that will also help with suggestions when you get those first contacts, then you get those second contacts, like, hey, you're also connected to Rita, and might be those suggestions that you see on the platform as well. So I just wanted to reiterate that with all the things that are going on, with our career coaching you have access to, because we know this can be overwhelming, and I hope you got some really good information and tips to get you started today. But if you need some additional help, think about scheduling a 30-minute appointment with our office, maybe to get your profile reviewed or ask some specific questions about LinkedIn as it pertains to your situation. You can schedule through Starfish. We also do resume reviews along with the LinkedIn profile, interview prep, basically anything along the career process, including reviewing offers, making decisions about what to search for, or things that you're interested in. Sometimes you don't know where to start. We also offer a lot of professional workshops like today. And we also are the office that organizes and approves IST 495. So if that is something that you have not completed yet, we definitely encourage you to reach out, and we'd be happy to help you with that. And if you have an opportunity already, make sure you get it approved so you can register for the class. So these are some great ways to stay connected with our office. We have a LinkedIn group that you can join. Also, our Instagram, we're putting out some really great information, and also about different events, not only with our office, but our student engagement office, our diversity office, advising, so you don't ever miss anything that's going on in the college, along with success stories about our alumni and other students that have completed internships. If you want an internship approved or have any questions for our office, you can email us at careers@ist.psu.edu. and we'd be happy to answer any of those questions. And as I'm finishing up here, if you could scan the QR code and just take a quick, like 30-second survey to give us some feedback on maybe some other workshops that you would like to see on different topics, or any suggestions that we can have for improvement for the future. I just wanted to let everybody know that we are actually offering an IST student internship panel Tuesday, November 8th from 6 to 7:30. We're going to have 4 Students that had completed an internship in the summer of 2022 that are going to talk about their experience, IST 495, advice they have, how they kind of found their internships, all kinds of stuff. And we will open Q&A to the audience as well. So great event to learn from your peers. And the final thing I'm going to highlight is every Sunday, we do send out a weekly email to all University Park IST students to highlight workshops like this, newly added postings on Nittany Lion Careers, employer events that are going on campus, everything that evolves around internship and career. So if you are still searching or want to take advantage, make sure that you're giving that email a quick scan, taking things that you want from it, and then, discarding for the rest and waiting for next week. So at this time, I will open it up to any questions that people might have about LinkedIn.
Just really quickly, I wanted to say that somebody asked about whether they could get a recording of this hot topic, and I am posting into the chat right now. All of our hot topics are recorded and posted on our website, so you can see this one in a day or two, as well as all of the previous hot topics that were presented. And I have also linked in the chat the link to our resource page.
Fantastic. Any other questions? I'll wait a few minutes for any last minute questions that are coming in.